Hi, I'm Steve Sutton, and I'm here with the guys from LA Taco. We're going to check out my urban shrimp farm here in Downey.
Woo!
Holy, look at how blue this one is. So now we're entering the production space, as you can hear. This is 16,000 square feet, a little bit more. And we have two systems. On my left, we've got the sort of oceanic system. This system is clearer water, and it replicates the environment that the shrimp move to in their natural habitat. So they would migrate offshore to spawn, and they spend half of their life there in that environment. So we replicate that here at the farm. On my right side, as we go down, we'll see two different systems, but they're both an environment that mimics the mangroves or the swamps where young shrimp spend their early part of their lives. So this hose, I'm filling this tank for next week. And then we got a bunch of shrimp in here. This is all kind of the mangrove or biofloc area. And 6 out of 8 of these tanks are waiting to be filled. So this area still has some pumps, but it's much quieter. This is the area where the shrimp first come in. So we've got 2 nursery tanks set up. And they come in 17 days old. They're tiny, about half the size of your pinky nail. These are Pacific white-legged prawn. Often you see them as white shrimp, and they're one of about 8 species marketed as white shrimp. The biofloc system, and this is important to understand because when you look at the water, people think, oh, what's that? That's dirty water. And us shrimp farmers are like, oh, that's healthy water. So it's opposite, but once you kind of understand it, I think it helps. So if you had crystal clear water in here, these things would be dead. So yeah, just gonna get a bit of water. Yeah, you can see that water. That looks really good to me. It looks really healthy. It's just not crystal clear. And so there's a lot of good bacteria in there. So I've probably got a couple hundred there. This tank has about 40,000 in it. Yeah, they're just little beasts at this point. They grow fast right now. Like we're kind of, you never say this, but we're kind of past the critical stage. The first 10 or so days is like, things can go wrong, and they go wrong in a hurry. You get a bad bacteria in there, almost anything could happen. Then once they hit about this size, they really start to take off and grow, and I'll show you the next size up in our Clearwater system. These guys, like I said, have been here over a week. The other ones I'm about to show you are coming up on 6 weeks, and you'll see the size difference. Teenage shrimp. Prawns. I always say shrimp too. So you'll notice it's really warm in here, and in order to reuse as much water as possible, we don't want a lot of evaporation. So we close everything at night, and we try to keep the evaporation down and also the heat loss down. So you've got this greenhouse material that we use all over the farm to keep that in. Yeah, there's about 25,000 shrimp in here, and let's get some teenage shrimp. Yeah, so you can see they're kind of a blue color. So these guys are about 6 weeks old. So they're really growing fast now. And in about 2 months, a little less, these guys will be ready to market. So in 2 months, these will be the size of the ones I'm gonna show you next. So this building is capable of producing about 0.05% of the shrimp consumed in Southern California. So it's almost nothing. And that's a fairly aggressive estimate. That's if we do like 1,800 pounds a week, every week, we'll produce around 0.05%. So now we're back in that biofloc style of shrimp farming that I was telling you about. This water is much more mature. We've had this water on the farm for about 8 months, and we replenish it very little at a time. So it's all about recycling that water, and making sure that the right bacteria are in there in the right quantities to keep the shrimp healthy. They go around and they're foraging and hunting and growing, and that's what we want them to do.
Whoa.
Did you get a jumper?
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll jump sometimes. At this size, they can jump 4 or 5 feet. So not a big net full, but quite a few. You can see them there.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, so a lot bigger. Oh, get back in there. So a lot bigger. You can see that these are a lot lighter colored. Come here, buddy. So these guys are a lot lighter colored. And that's because they pigment to their surroundings, so they kind of camouflage. And this guy is blue. I mean, they want to be a bluish color, genetically speaking, but they'll pigment to blend in. So you can see kind of brown. This guy's a little in between. And these are this light, really kind of transparent look.
And these are pretty much ready to eat?
These are ready to eat. These will be harvested tomorrow and Friday. Yeah, these guys are, so, whoa, man down. Don't worry about that. That is a nice one. All right, now we're worried about it. It's becoming a trend. Ow.
They just snap and
They have a really sharp point right here. So see how sharp that is on the tail? That's called the telson. And the telson, when they kind of fight back, they snap it like this, and they'll get it into your finger, like I just did right there.
Oh, man.
So when we're working with them, we wear gloves and stuff. The other part that's really sharp is this part here. This is called the rostrum, and the rostrum is pretty sharp and is different in pretty much all shrimp. So, but this is a good-looking guy. He's like a large shrimp bordering on a jumbo size for us. For us, that's about, larges are 15 to 18 count, and jumbos are more like 10 to 14 count per pound.
And you do get jumbos?
Yeah. This guy's probably about a 14 count. So he's probably just entering the jumbo world, but let's let him, had him out of the water for a minute, so let's let him remember what it's like, and eventually here, he'll start walking and take off. But he's kind of clinging to me right now. There he goes. Yeah, so you can see these bluer ones are what we're gonna see in the new system. They're gonna be a much more blue color. Now that's more of like a medium to large shrimp. They don't wanna stay in my hand. So yeah, that's more of like a medium shrimp. That's the smallest size we're selling. These guys would be kind of medium to large.
And you guys separate them by hand?
Yeah, we hand sort everything, hand harvest. All right, so here we're going for our harvest size shrimp. You can see him jumping out of the way that time. Oh yeah, we got a pretty good net full there. So that's probably 1.5 pounds of shrimp right there. If you guys want, I mean, we have raw shrimp all the time here, and chefs have been really loving it. So if you wanted to try some, I did harvest some. We could try a bite or two with some soy sauce if you're feeling daring.
Beautiful. Good right.
Let's do it. Yeah.
So let's please go for it. And then, well, before we start, let's dispel the #1 rumor myth with eating shrimp. Can you eat? Is the bloodline? Is that really shit? And is it bad for you if you eat it? Should you eat it? Should you try not to eat it and peel it out when you're prepping it? What's the answer to that?
The shrimp, unlike humans, have a really simple digestive system. So they have a stomach and then the gut. And this is, in fact, the digestive tract. However, these guys can digest their feed in a matter of 10 minutes. Can come right out the other end. So as you imagine, it's not all digested. In fact, it's usually around 40% digested. Frankly, this is just a dry pellet of shrimp feed. I taste it when I get a new feed because I'm a weirdo, but also because, I don't know, I'm curious. What does it taste like? It doesn't hurt you. It's fish meal. It's kind of like eating your dog food. Make sure it's okay for them.
Is it salty or sweet?
It's a little sweet, but it's a little fishy. It's definitely not what I would say is tasty. But anyways, this is much lighter colored than you're used to seeing. It also doesn't have like a smell or flavor to it, so it's very mild flavor. It definitely won't hurt you, and it may not even be something you notice. So when we serve, whenever serve it raw around the farm like this, I take it out because nobody wants to think about what they're eating. You would taste it maybe a little, but when it's cooked, people don't even taste it, notice it, or it's really hard to find it. We also have the ability to kind of make them fast before harvest.
Right,
Should we go in?
Yeah, all that being said, so much suspense.
Take this guy. Oh. You can see the digestive tract there, and actually about half of it came out. If I went a little slower, you can pull the entire thing out. So when we peel them this fresh, like these guys were alive an hour ago, they're really hard to peel. And it's something that, you know, we love being able to get people super fresh shrimp, but it's one of the challenges figuring out how best to peel them in the first hour or two that they're dead. Okay, attaboy. All right, get this guy. Cheers.
Cheers. Wow. Congratulations.
Thanks. The shrimp did all the work. Does it's such a different texture?
Yours, I think because it's so fresh, the first thing that you notice is it's not as briny and it's more creamy. So it's almost like if you have like a piece of sashimi, like a really premium piece of like fatty tuna or something that just melts in your mouth. But that being said, it's still like sweet.
Yeah.
All right, I think our cameraman should try it. But thank you so much for the tour.
No
And
problem.
I can't wait to support your business and
Awesome.
And thanks for providing a sustainable and local option here in LA. Yeah, let's do a panel.
Yeah. All right, man. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, man.
He's gonna eat too.